In the wrestling world, the people are represented by two separate but unequally important groups. The wrestlers and bookers, who literally do all the hard work, and the fans, who endlessly nitpick and overanalyze everything they do. These are their stories.
Hey! It's Warhorse, and you need to shut your mouth, open your eyes, and clean out your ears, because it's time to listen to the Raw and Order podcast. That's right, they're bringing you the best in all that meaty podcasty goodness in one, what is it, an hour? Two? Who cares? Who gives a shit? You need to listen to it right now, or else Warhorse is gonna, I don't know, roll your ass!
Welcome to another episode of Raw and Order, the wrestling booking unit, the only wrestling podcast on the planet that sounds like this today. I am your host, Detective Mark Smarks, and I'm joined, as always, by my partners in crime fighting. Starting off, District Attorney Vincent Kayfabe. What's going on, man? How are you?
I just want to clarify that I did not get sick from making out with you. We haven't seen each other in a week.
No, it's definitely not making out with you.
I got sick from people. I didn't get sick from Factory either. I got sick from people. Factory was fantastic while I was sick. But I'm ready to feel better. And so this is, with Warhorse saying that it's an hour or two, it's going to be as fast as we possibly can so we can both get some rest.
I hear that. Also joining us from up north, RCMP JLB. What's going on, man?
It's going better than both of you guys. Get better, guys. Jeez. Yeah. A lot of tea and honey.
Something. There must be something going around this area because I know other people who have this.
Lots of virus.
And again, Fabe and I live, about 100 miles apart?
Yeah.
And it's going around where he is, too.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it's not fun. It always hits me in my vocal cords more than I think most people do. But
Mine just has wrecked this area.
Yeah.
Not that it was pretty to begin with, because it wasn't, but. Better looking than a set of WTN podcasters, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun, though, doing it live. It was a mistake to have the camera.
I'm kidding. I'm sure you guys had lots of fun.
It was cool.
But anyways, we are here tonight to talk about Royal Rumble 2023. We're going to do our review. And to remind everyone, we do our reviews different than other places. We don't go match by match and say, this is what happened, this is what did we think. We cut to the meat and the bones. We talk about the bad things, we talk about the good things. Let you make your decisions from there. Only 5 matches on the card tonight, though. So I'm pretty sure every match is going to get talked about a little bit, right?
For sure. Yeah.
But we had the 30-man Royal Rumble, the Pitch Black match, Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss, the 30-woman Rumble, and then Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. So let's get into it.
That's 5. Let's do it.
I also want to mention I do have some cards to open. This is a set that I'd never seen before, called WWE Chronicles. So I have no idea what they're like.
They're like this.
They're like that.
But I'm not going to this tonight, because I wanted this to go quick. I do have a hanger pack I'll open if we must.
Yeah.
Otherwise it can wait.
That's fine. You can save yours for the FBI. I just have been holding onto these for 2 weeks because I bought them last week and then ended up being sick and not being able to do it. So I'm going to play a little game, though, with mine. I'm going to see how many entrants to the Royal Rumbles I can pull out of these. So starting off, we're going to go down the worst first and then the best. So we're going to start it off hard. Worst match of the night.
Pitch Black.
Ooh. Elaborate for us, bud.
Specifically the match portion, the post match of that was better than the actual match itself. I didn't like what they did with it, with the whole black light and everything was neon and whatever and all that stuff. It looked cheesy. It looked very, very Seth Fiend-ish, although totally different lighting and all that. But it just looked really cheesy, and it was short, which thank God, because it wasn't that great, and it showed no value until the actual post-match portion. So that's my pick. Worst match of the night. It didn't provide anything for me until after the match. So as a match in its whole, pitch black match.
That's fair. I'm going to go ahead and defend the pitch black match real quick first before I give mine. I think every time you do a match that has a sponsor style setup, they are scrambling to figure out how to make this said match. They were scrambling to figure out how to make
the zombie match there.
The zombie match. I think they were scrambling to make the pitch black match. What makes this pitch black? What's going to be special about it? Oh, can we get some neon contacts? Which was a fail in and of itself. The contacts were a fail because they talked about his eyes, and then it was another 6 minutes before we saw his eyes. Like we could physically, like there was a good close up of the eyes.
Right.
That said, it wasn't a great match. I know Smarks was a big fan of the confetti blowing all over and all that stuff. And
that was cool. Cool little moment. Yeah.
I don't mind the blacklight matches any more than I just don't want everything to be pitch black. The Fiends matches were all in red lighting, and I don't want that all the time. This pitch black match wasn't. The match itself was fine. I would say Alexa Bianca was the worst match of the night. It just didn't hold up to what I was hoping for. The interference from Uncle Howdy or any of that stuff didn't happen until after the fact. If we have a new, more aggressive Alexa, I want to see the new, more aggressive Alexa. I do not think it would have hurt Bianca to take the title off of Bianca at this juncture. They really need to build that storyline, and they need to start building it to where it's actually affecting things in matches. That said, the storyline's building. I mean, you can see it in the match right before it. That was the Bray Wyatt match. We obviously had the ability for that to bleed into this match, and it didn't. It was short. It wasn't exceptionally good. Just wasn't a great match as a whole. That's the one I'm going to give it to.
So I am going to agree with DA Fabe on this. It's sad for me because Alexa Bliss is one of my favorites. But the match didn't deliver. And it didn't deliver for a lot of reasons. It didn't deliver because, like he said, Alexa wasn't her vicious self that she's supposed to be. They're building up the storyline that she's gone over an edge and she'll just do things. If you wanted it to end with Bianca still the champion, then you have ref stoppage as an option, right? You could have it be Alexa goes overboard and gets totally DQ'd because she decides to slam Bianca's head in between the ring steps or something, something that just gets her DQ'd.
Lord knows WWE isn't afraid of disqualifications.
Yeah. So and for me, it just didn't, like, from a storyline standpoint, it didn't thing. I also have voiced my concerns with this storyline just in general. I'm fine with seeing a vicious Alexa Bliss. I just would prefer she was vicious on her own merits, not vicious because of some weird connection to Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy. I would like her to be separate from it. I also legitimately physically cringed when I saw Lily's face up on the screen during the flashes because I hate that fucking doll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say that the pitch black match was a spectacle to behold and the best thing ever. It wasn't, but it was likely a one-off match. As long as it stays a one-off match, It was a fine match. The match was okay. It featured Bray being spooky at times. I have to disagree on the context. My wife said to me, like 30 seconds into the match, "What's up with his eyes?" So she noticed it right away, the glowing contacts.
Could be my age. It's getting in the way there.
Yeah, but so I liked it from what it was. I thought it was visually very fun to watch. So there's that. On top of it, it set up the storyline for the future a little bit more. It had Uncle Howdy appearing physically in addition to Bray, so we now know 100% that they're two different people, right? That it's not a Fiend situation where it's Bray in a mask, right? And so we also saw the rest of the Firefly Funhouse in person form above him on the scaffolding afterwards. So they're hinting that those are going to end up being people as well. As long as the pitch black match stays a isolated incident, I think it's fine. Now, if they decide to start doing a pitch black match on every show, that's a different thing altogether. I don't think they are, because pitch black is only a limited time release. It's only going to be around for a few months. So I think this was a one-time thing for it.
Here's the hoping.
But I thought it was fine. But yeah, the Alexa versus Bianca gets my vote for worst match of the night. Moving on, most predictable moment.
Cody? I mean, once you're at number 30 and he hasn't come out and we know he's coming out, it's Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, but we just said there was just so many rumors of so many things. I would maybe agree, but at the same time, maybe Roman winning.
Yeah.
I mean, Roman winning would he? I think it's still Cody. Fabe called me before the show started, like during the kickoff, and he said, "You still think it's Cody winning?" And I said, "Yeah." And frankly, I said that's the reason why I was so frustrated that they announced Cody entering the Royal Rumble beforehand. Because once they announced it, like my brain was like, okay, he's going to go and he's going to win, right? Until they announced it, my brain still was like, if I'm booking this and I can get Cody back, I have him win the Royal Rumble. But I don't know he's going to be in it, right? And in reality, he almost wasn't in it. I guess send you guys a link. According to Fightful, I believe it is, the doctors did not clear him to wrestle until that morning, the day of Royal Rumble. So there was a chance that he wasn't going to get cleared. So why bother announcing it? Let it be a surprise. And I think it would have been way more fun for it to be that big pop surprise of, oh, Cody's here. And then he's number 30. I think he's going to win this. So that's, I think, my most predictable moment, Cody winning. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I am personally 100% on the side of Cody winning. I'm on the side of Cody finally getting the belt.
Right.
I'm also on the side of Roman losing the belt finally. It's been 2 years. Let's move it around a bit. At least one of them. Come on. Anyways. So we will move to overhype of the night.
Overhype of the night. Pitch black match, maybe?
Pitch black match.
Yeah, it's pitch black.
Yep. That's what they've talked about nonstop for the last 3 weeks. The pitch black match. They had LA Knight delivering all those promos.
Right.
Came back. Everyone wanted you to come back. Yeah.
I'm surprised you're trying to attempt to do LA Knights. Yeah. With your
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
And LA Knight not really even getting really an opportunity or a shot at trying
It's-
to at least,
yeah.
but
Probably the most disappointing thing is I would have preferred that match to be about 4 minutes longer and LA Knight get the upper hand for the first 5 minutes of it, and then it turns around.
yeah.
Before I move on to the next thing, I want to point out in my first pack of 7 cards, I got only one card that has an entrant in one of the Royal Rumbles from the night. But some of these cards are really cool. So, the only one that features an entrant for the Royal Rumble is a Rhea Ripley one. And this is called an absolute memorabilia card. But it does not have any memorabilia on it. So that's a misnomer. That's weird. I did get one member of Pretty Deadly and an Origins card. I got a really cool prismatic Alexa Bliss.
Nice.
I got a lot of people that I don't really know. I got a black card for Amari Miller.
Huh?
I got... These are the
NXT
standard
UK or
Chronicle
something?
cards. Yeah, NXT 2.0. Josh Briggs. A standard card for Jay Uso. We'll talk about him more later, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And a Cowboy Bob Orton standard card.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
First Bob Orton card, that's for sure. So that's cool.
Yeah. But only one member of the Royal Rumble. Moving on.
Okay.
Worst performance of the night.
Miz?
The Miz. Why the Miz?
Eliminated in less than 3 minutes? 2 minutes?
Oh, okay. I was gonna go with Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green, but
Yeah.
it was just poor booking.
Well, so was the Miz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like they were
elbow drop that
hyping her up.
Uncle Hardy's elbow drop that looked like a coffin drop, or a coffin drop that looked like an elbow. The drop.
The drop that missed LA Knight by like feet.
Yeah,
I mean,
LA Knight did move a little though. He did
Fortunately,
scoot a bit.
WWE does have a lot of practice on camera angles so that it was not A, super evident that he missed, and B, it also wasn't super easy to spot that it was landing on a pad. These are things that I don't often say AEW needs to learn from WWE on some things, but this is one thing that they've shown they need to learn. AKA Chris Jericho's fall onto the mat that was obviously a mat from Blood and Guts a year ago. Anyways.
I'll give a different worst performance. Kevin Owens, when he slipped on the turnbuckle to do the moonsault, but it was also a great recovery by him and Roman.
Yeah. I'm more or less, I usually think when I think worst performance, I'm thinking overall. And while, Kevin Owens had that
It was
mistake
the
there.
nastiest botch of the night. But
Yeah, the overall performance from Kevin Owens was good. So worst performance of the night. It's hard not to say The Miz. He lasted 4 minutes. Got 0 eliminations. I also have to point some out to fucking Chelsea Green, which makes me so angry because she's so good.
Yeah.
we don't know if she's under contract or not. If she's not under contract, and
Yeah. She may have just been
get
a
paid
one-off.
to get thrown out.
I'm 90% certain she's under contract, but she may be just a one-off and just to get thrown out in 5 seconds.
She did win a world record though. Broke a record at least. So
Yeah.
there is that.
I'm going to throw another worst performance of the night, though. Nia Jax.
I was gonna go there. Yep. Ugh. And I hope that's a one-off. I really hope
That's
to
not a
God
one-off.
that that's a one-off. Ugh.
I am relatively certain it's not a one-off.
Damn it.
But like the problem with her, and the reason I put it up there for worst performance of the night, is she comes out and yeah, she's supposed to look like this monster, right? But she goes up against Raquel Rodriguez, who's also supposed to be a monster. And she gives Raquel absolutely no help in Raquel doing a power slam. And then Rhea Ripley goes to do a power slam.
Pump handle slam.
Well, no, first she tries to do a power slam.
Oh, okay.
And Nia gives no help, and Rhea can't get her all the way up. And so Rhea then turns it into the pump handle slam, her Riptide, and barely gets that off on her. Because Nia gives no help. She sandbags the whole thing. We also have to, in connection to Nia, say that some of her worst performance also goes to the sound department for starting to play her theme song before they started to play the countdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Or it was at like 8 or something. It was at 8 seconds, and it was like, what? What's going on here? They did rush a bunch of those entrants, though. So,
but
Yeah, I don't think they were going 90 seconds apiece.
no.
so pack number 2, I did manage to get another entrant in the Royal Rumble. Not this one, though. Veer Mahan for my first card. This is a rated rookie card, which is weird because he's been around. He's been coming for like 2 years. One entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Oh, who looked fantastic.
We
I
will
was
talk
not ready
about
for
her more.
Asuka's new mask. And then makeup. Very creepy. Very cool. Very
Oh, no,
satisfying.
I had two entrants. Two entrants in a Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
The other one. This one is a score card. A prestige card of Kevin Owens.
Nice.
And then not a duplicate, but a second card of Rhea Ripley. This is a prismatic sort of card.
Perfect time to get those since she is a Royal Rumble winner.
And then 2 of the standard Chronicle cards. One of them I like very, very much, and one of them I don't so much. First one I like very, very much. Vader.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Second one I don't like so much. Greg the Hatchet Face Valentine.
Oh, that is hardcore hatchet face. Yeah. Yeah. Diggity damn. Shouldn't talk, but you know it is what it is.
Okay, moving on. Worst move of the night.
That I'll give to the slip during the moonsault. And there's just nothing you can do about that. Ropes were
Right.
slick. But
I feel like there must have been. Yeah, I guess I'll give the same. I can't quite think of. I'm sure there was a few
you can say
botches in
Uncle Howdy's
the.
drop, but
Oh, you know what? I would feel bad for Kofi. I'll say Kofi's totally not his
chair.
fault.
Yeah.
Jump to the chair, which might be the end of Kofi's spots.
It could be that the worst move was commentary trying to make something of it still when
Yeah, he was
legitimately
obviously
injured now.
very injured. It was a jump to the chair, but it also was a throw. And I think the throw threw him all off, and he hit that desk hard.
Well, it wasn't really a throw though. It was just a shoulder. It was Gunther just doing like a little shoulder thrust. So he had all the jumping power that he needed. It was up to him.
Have you taken a shoulder thrust from Gunther? There's a lot of power in it.
Have you? It sounds like you have.
Yeah, have you? Jeez, I mean, who knows?
I don't want to
was
talk
that
about
heavy or
my
not?
personal life on this show. So
I mean, you've done it. No, but I guess I'll give that to Kofi because that ultimately also ended 2 years in a row. He's botched. So worst move of the night goes to Kofi's thing.
I'm
thank God he's
legitimately
okay, though.
worried. I'm legitimately worried that we're gonna not get to see him for a bit because even if he says he's okay, that looked like a concussion to me.
Yeah,
and that's gonna be out for a bit. And like we saw with Adam Cole, concussions can be out for a long time. So
right.
For me, I think the Nia Jax not allowing people to body slam her, not helping people body slam her.
Well, and that's the story they were telling there, though.
I don't think it was for Rhea. I think Rhea was supposed to body slam her.
Well, maybe.
And couldn't because she doesn't help people. She doesn't do anything to help.
Lift any part of her body, yeah.
You know, so.
Well, because she can't.
Yeah. But, anyways, moving on to worst booking decision. This is a new segment for this show. But I think
Chelsea Green. I'm done. Chelsea Green.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
That's the answer.
I'm waiting for
JLB
JLB.
will say Chelsea Green too, and we can move on past this. Is he there?
He's muted right now, so I can't hear him. Well, I will tell you.
Let's unmute him. Nope, I
Nope,
can't choose
he's
to unmute
muted.
you.
My bad.
You muted yourself.
Okay.
There we go. Worst booking decision.
That's a topic.
That's a new one. Yep. Worst booking decision. Chelsea Green is the nominee from DFA. Booking her to lose so fast. She is so fucking good. I don't think the WWE universe knows how good Chelsea Green is because she came
been on
along
the main
in
roster.
NXT.
No.
She wrestled 2 matches on the main roster and broke her wrist.
Doesn't count. Right.
Broke her wrist in the first one, came back from breaking her wrist, wrestled 1 match, and then got cut. And so the main roster does not know how good she is. She then went to Impact and tore it up. I've seen her wrestle live with DFA at Zello Pro.
Yep.
She is so fucking good. And to have her be eliminated so fast, especially when you had other options on that you could have done that same storyline with. If you want to have someone eliminated fast in the Women's Royal Rumble, right? You have B-Fab as an option. She could be eliminated, no problem. You have,
She was
Natalia.
eliminated pretty fast, though.
B-Fab lasted 36 seconds, so might as well put it down to 5. You know what I mean? You could have done it with someone like Natalia. She's been around long enough. It's not going to hurt her, in the long run.
How long was Natalia in it for? Do you know?
Natalia was in it for 3 minutes and 8 seconds. She did not get any eliminations herself, but she did. It did take 3 people to eliminate her. You had Dana Brooke in there for 11 minutes and 43 seconds, and still no eliminations from her. Right? Those are some options there. Hell, Michelle McCool. How great of a storyline could that be from a standpoint of she's in the audience. She gets her name called. She's like, oh, she hops up on the thing. She takes a step in and immediately gets eliminated and then just goes and sits back down with her family.
Right.
But instead,
They probably even did that before, too. So.
You re-debut Chelsea Green to a lot of fanfare and then eliminate her in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up a secondary option for worst booking decision that I don't necessarily agree with as worst, but it's going to bring up some talking points, I think. And that's Rey Mysterio.
Yep. That was going to be my pick. Okay, listen. He got injured on SmackDown. Okay, so that was a thing. He was actually injured. But then, if you know this going through on Saturday, why not just have someone else come on in?
They have physically
You know what I
had
mean?
wrestlers attack somebody and take their spot in the Rumble. That's how
Or,
Becky Lynch won.
yeah, or just like say he can't compete and put someone else in there.
That's
Right?
it.
You know, here's the deal. They'd announced that Madcap Moss was supposed to be in the Royal Rumble, and he didn't appear. So you put Madcap Moss in that spot.
That's it. Like, we even had a wrestling pool, and someone did have number 17, and it was for money. And he's like, well, what the fuck happens to me? We're like, well, I guess you lose, bud. Like, we don't create this.
Now,
Call WWE, blame Triple H. But yeah, but it's telling a story, right? With Dominic, because apparently Dominic was supposed to still come out at 18, hit Ray, and then do something there to start building up a feud for WrestleMania. And I guess they still kind of continue that with Dom wearing the mask. But if the guy's injured and you still don't know how long he's going to be out for, you know, maybe just continue that on SmackDown or something. Like, give me a freaking entrant. God damn.
yeah. I'm also going to kind of put out their worst booking decision. They packed the men's Royal Rumble so much that there were only 3 air quotes surprises. Logan Paul, Booker T, and Edge were the only surprises, only people not pre-announced for the Rumble.
Right.
And I really think, like, Elias lasted 39 seconds. You could have had a Hall of Famer or someone do
you
that
had Booker.
same 39 seconds, right?
Yeah.
You know, the same thing with, I'm just looking down the list here. From storyline standpoint, you know, you had Otis come out and last 3 minutes. The only storyline that told is it took 2 people to put him out, you know, and it was Drew McIntyre and Sheamus teaming up. You could have told some other story with that.
Right.
There could have been some more stuff done. Just to, I don't get the pop. I'm not saying it had to be 30, you know, surprise nostalgia pops or whatever, but 3 was just a little too few for me. Now, the women's Royal Rumble legitimately had more, and some of that's because they don't have that many women on their roster right now. So they had to call up 3 women from NXT. They had to have Nia Jackson, Chelsea Green re-debut, and they had to have Michelle McCool pulled in from the audience, right? So those were all surprises. They also, a surprise, I guess you could call it, would be Piper Niven showing up as Piper Niven, not Doudrop.
Yep. And then them freaking the commentary, Pat McAfee especially. Just by the way, Pat McAfee's back. Yay! Pat McAfee especially being like, "Oh, I don't know what we're gonna do. Wonder if she's gonna drop. Who is she gonna drop?" And I was like, "Oh, you guys are cheesy."
Yeah.
I think that was more Corey Graves actually.
But anyways,
yeah.
but we will move on to the final worst moment of the night.
I hate to be cliche and make this go with worst. Did we have a worst match yet? Yeah, we already
Did worst match. Yeah. I should rearrange it and put worst match towards the end of the worst, but that's beside the point. Anyways,
I hate to be cliche and have it go with the worst match, but I'm going to have it go with the worst match. The story that's being told not being a part of the women's championship match. What happened to the story? You know, like, oh, okay, I suppose you used it later.
yeah. I'm also going to kind of point out, it bugs me that the Alexa Bliss storyline is tied to Bray Wyatt, but not referenced with Bray Wyatt. You know what I mean?
No, it's reference to
He
Uncle
did
Howdy.
mention it. He did also mention it with at the press conference, though, that they're always
At the
will be
press
tied
conference.
together.
But my point is, in this whole Bray Wyatt, Uncle Howdy, LA Knight storyline, that's going on. That's getting a coverage on SmackDown. And then a connected storyline to it gets not even mentioned by that storyline in any way, shape, or form. And it goes along, and it feels like they're just treating it as a throwaway storyline
Yeah.
instead of an actual part of that story. It needs to be interconnected if they're going to do that. I mean, for me, just the whole thing. Like I said before, I'm not a fan of this storyline for Alexa. It's not the way I would
Right.
like Alexa to go. But just after the match, she sits in there, and then there's just a video promo of Uncle Howdy, and her, and I'm just like, meh.
Yeah,
That was like my
It's
low
very
moment
pointless.
for the entire night.
It's very difficult to invest in it when it's not that investable.
I was almost certain like you would at least get more of the Fiend coming out and doing something, or like appearing randomly outside the ring, making it a little bit more mysterious and whatever have you.
Have
Very
Alexa
lackluster.
Bliss appear in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match,
Right.
or since the Alexa Bliss match happened right after it, have the
Uncle Howdy or Bray Wyatt.
Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt appear in this match.
Or
what I mean?
Alexa jumping off the thing and hitting LA Knight.
something to actually
what I
tie
mean?
them together so they feel like one story, not two separate stories that don't really match up.
Right.
I only got one more member of the Royal Rumble in this pack. It is not, however, Wendy Chu, Rookie Stars. It is not, surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly if you watched her reaction to Raw 30, it is not Nikki Bella.
Nope.
It was not a Chronicles Gold card of Classy Freddie Blassie.
Freddie Blassie.
R.I.P. Nope.
Surprisingly, we saw nothing of Charlotte
Of
Flair
Charlotte at all. I don't know
at
what
all.
the fuck that was.
Don't know that I'm not mad about it.
It also, for many reasons, was not the British Bulldog standard card.
But it was.
It was not standard card Goldberg.
Thank God.
It, however, was
Certainly would.
standard card Montez Ford.
He was great in that match. A lot of fun.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's always a good time, fun time.
So, we're going to move on to the best. We started about worst moment. What was the best moment of the night?
I mean, I didn't say my worst moment, but I'm
you
going to go
didn't?
with
I thought you'd agree.
Hardy performance. I mean, I agree.
Oh, the Hardy performance. I
the
totally.
Hardy performance.
Fuck it, I
Yeah,
take back my vote. Take back my vote. It was the Hardy performance.
Yep, you win. Hardy,
You
Hardy.
win. You win.
Like, what the hell was that? I'm like, this is useless. This is completely
First of all, I don't even know
useless.
who the fuck
It
Hardy
sounds
is.
so bad.
Did you see what Dustin Rhodes wrote? That is not fucking country. I don't know what the fuck that was, but that wasn't country and it wasn't hard rock either. There were some people.
Yeah,
trying to
because
say
he's
it was
technically a hard
but it ain't
rock country thing. No, it was just bad.
It's don't.
I think
perform
like
on
they
rock.
messed up in the sound check or something, because he also was screaming weirdly and it sounded a tad muffled at a few times, and
It was
yeah,
not
no bueno.
good.
it was not good. Not good.
Yep.
This is a good pack.
Oh my god.
It's the worst part about being sick is you get gas.
Yeah, you do. Anyways, moving on to the best moment of the night.
Best
Now,
moment.
I would argue that there's basically two real options for this from
Royal
a best
Rumble
moment
winners.
standpoint. not even both Royal Rumble winners. My argument, I'm going to throw them out here. Either Cody winning Men's Rumble or Sammy turning on Roman. Those are the two options for best moment, and I can understand a vote either way.
Yeah.
It all kind of depends on how you're liking the storytelling right now, in my opinion. But I'm opening up to you guys. What was your best moment of the night?
I'm going to throw a third option in there. No, I will say that mine is Cody winning. But an option I'm throwing in there is Jay walking out.
I think I would argue that plays into that a whole part of the Sammy turning, because I would say that whole moment as a whole can't be separated out. That's the one big moment. Sammy turning, the beatdown that ensued afterwards, and Jay just saying, "I'm out. I can't do this. I'm out."
Well, Sammy didn't really tell me. You're forcing me to hit a helpless human being.
Yeah, and so instead he hit his boss. That's considered.
Yeah, he could have still refused.
He could have
not hit anyone.
He could have just thrown the thing down and left. Because I can't do this, But he chose to hit Roman with it, which he knew full well what would happen after that, and it did. But anyways, I personally am on the Cody side as well. The storyline wise, I like better. And I'm a Cody fan. I've got Cody back there multiple times over. There he is in his red, white, and blue outfit, and then behind it is him in his business suit. I'm a fan of Cody, so for me that storyline I'm down for. The Sammy turning is a good moment as well, though. So I don't begrudge anyone choosing that.
JLB, which one's yours?
So I'm probably going to do either the Sammy turn is most probably it, but also Rhea winning. I was super happy for Rhea to actually win. She seemed crazy excited. Cody, just because he did the too sweet and the gun salute and then pointed at the Mania thing, I'm like, that's a nod to AEW and Bullet Club and Young Bucks and all that. I'm like, that's awesome.
I do want to say, since you brought up Rhea, stop shitting on Liv. That was great on her behalf. She sold that fucking gold.
Mm-hmm.
What did she sell?
Liv put in a good performance last night. Good performance from the beginning. I mean, she entered second technically. Rhea entered first. Yeah. And she lasted all the way till the end.
I guess I might have to rewatch that. I do know Liv was there for a very long time.
She took the spray from Asuka.
Yes. Oh, right.
She was about to beat Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
That whole apron
and the thing
was great.
I would have popped probably just as hard for Liv winning.
I know you would have.
I think I'm happy Rhea won. I am happy Rhea won. Don't get me wrong, right? She was probably my pick. I thought that was going to go to someone from SmackDown, frankly.
I thought for sure the third to last one was going to be the winner at the very end there. I thought it was going to be Asuka.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to, and of those three, Rhea's the one who I wanted the least.
Yeah.
Why do you want Liv again?
I would choose Rhea the least because of the same reason I would not have Ronda Rousey win the Royal Rumble last year, and that is Rhea built her own fucking reason to put her in a title match.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea's good enough to put her in a title match just naturally. Asuka is too, but you have to build a storyline.
Yeah.
Liv,
the
have to
storyline,
give a random shot to.
The storyline you have with Asuka right now is she became a joke for so long, and she's reinventing herself. So, in case you didn't know, the makeup that she wore at the Rumble last night, that's actually the makeup that she wore in Japan under the Kana character when she was vicious and not comedic at all. Right?
Okay.
So this is her coming back vicious. And so for her to win, that tells this storyline of she snapped and she's coming back vicious, and she's gonna win. For Liv to win, that tells the storyline of her finally getting the eye of the tiger, for lack of a better term, and finally being able to put together a serious run, right? Rhea, like D.A. Fabe mentioned, Rhea doesn't need to win a Royal Rumble to win a shot, right? Rhea can walk into any Raw and say, I'm going to challenge whoever the number one contender is for their spot. You know, she's a powerhouse, and that tells that same story. Also with Rhea, and don't get me wrong, I'm happy that she won, but she's in the middle of a storyline with Judgment Day, right? And so this feels kind of like tacked on to that storyline. It doesn't feel connected to the Judgment Day storyline. You're right. And so I would have been happy with any of the final three, but Liv Morgan put in work.
Still here.
Put in fucking work last night. And
I was being very biased. I'll have to re-see that, I guess.
Yeah. She had 3 eliminations. She was there for 1 hour, 1 minute, and 8 seconds, the exact same amount of time that Rhea Ripley was, because she entered second.
Those two are now tied for the record of longest amount of time in a women's Royal Rumble.
The people that she did eliminate, she eliminated Bayley. She eliminated Nikki Cross. She eliminated... I'm trying to find the third one. Where? She part of one. Nikki Cross. Oh, was she technically the one? No, Rhea was technically the one who eliminated Asuka. Or did she get partial credit for it? Anyways.
I think also maybe another. I think we're off the. We're still on the moments. Another great moment too, though, was seeing Gunther and Brock go face to face. I was like, oh, I think I maybe might want to see this.
Having Gunther break Rey Mysterio's record was gold too.
Yeah,
Liv Morgan got partial credit for Nia Jax. That's what the third one was. In fact, she was the brains behind it, if I'm remembering correctly. She was the one who united everyone to go after Nia Jax.
Anyways. I thought it was Rhea that did that, but I've been wrong before.
I don't know. I might be wrong as well. Anyways, the Gunther versus Brock moment was great.
Mm-hmm.
Although
they're most likely telling the story of Bobby and Brock because Bobby got Brock.
That's what they're telling.
Brock was a great story.
Here's the deal, though. They set Gunther up to be a fucking rock star, right? We can give all sorts of crap to the name change and how I don't like the name change and yada, 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 whatever this. But they put him in there for 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 40 seconds with 5 eliminations. The only other person who had 5 eliminations was Cody. I mean, they made him look like a freaking rock star out of that. I also would like to point out that they gave my favorite Gunther moment was actually the, what was it, about 5-minute match at the end that was just Cody and Gunther.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did I not talk about that on
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we did. We thought it was going to be Seth and Cody, but it ended up being Gunther and Cody, which was still awesome.
It was awesome, and they put in work.
That work rate was great at the very end there.
Mm-hmm.
And Gunther seemed like he could still go. Like, dude was like, has great endurance and great cardio. This dude was like ready for another Royal Rumble.
Which I think, to me, segues great into breakout star of the night. I'm putting it on Gunther.
Yeah,
it's hard to say. I mean, he's the IC champion right now, but this was the moment that you could tell that WWE, or specifically Triple H, was like, we're putting a rocket on Gunther's back. We want him to look like an absolute star.
It almost came across like, I'm fucking running this. Everybody was questioning it. I'm fucking running it.
Yeah. Once that happened and I saw Gunther in Final 2, I'm like, hey, look, Vince didn't decide to try and get involved into creative. This would have never happened under
Well, and
Vince.
then you saw Nia Jax later, and you're like, oh, Vince is back involved in
This is true.
Does everyone agree Gunther breakout star of the night?
I'm trying to think if there's any others that really stand out to me. I got to give props to Austin Theory. I don't think he's as much of a breakout star as Gunther is. But Austin Theory put on a hell of a... I mean, he was in there... The improvement since he's been taken off the Vince train has been gold.
I'm
He was in
gonna
there
throw
for quite a while.
15 minutes and 39 seconds. Good amount of time. I'm gonna throw a name out there that this goes with when DFA said something about ever since he got pulled off of the Vince train. This is ever since he got pulled off his daddy train. Dominic Mysterio looked a lot better.
Yes, I would agree.
He's looked a lot better ever since haven't made him be like Ray Jr. You know,
It's hilarious the belief the selling he does on the belief that he was in prison.
yeah. He also was in the match for 25 minutes and 44 seconds.
And he looked good. However,
good.
he's got to stop at the 619. Like, okay, bro, you're not going
agree.
off your daddy's coattails. Just get rid of the 619. You don't need to do it.
I'm also going to point out that Johnny Gargano was in there for almost 30 minutes, but still got 0 eliminations.
Yeah.
Also a potential breakout star of the night.
And so
Just wasn't-
if they would have
They
got
didn't
him
have-
at least a couple moments to shine, I think it would have been a little bit better.
They didn't have the performance. Neither of those two had the performance that Gunther did. And so I do agree with Gunther. I'm just saying there's some names you got to throw in there.
Really quickly, I got a really good pack for people who participated. He showed up at the thing, but he wasn't in it for JBL. A playoff card. I don't know what that stands for. He was there in spirit, I'm sure. Gotta hold it this way. A really nice luminance Big E.
I was hoping as early, and I think I texted you as early as the other two came out. I thought, oh, maybe Big E is back.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I'm fairly certain he's got about a year left on rehab, but he could have made an appearance, could have come out with one of them, hyping him up. There in the back, of course, we had Triple H. It's a really cool legacy card for Triple H with the chain.
Yep.
A very excellent optic card for the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So that's one person who was in the Rumble. 2 people who were in the Rumble. A excellent Raw superstar, what do they call this?
I should also point
Elite
out for
Series
this
Edge.
moment, we should give a little bit of love to the Cody and Seth teaming together for a little bit.
That was cool.
A Standard Chronicles Dana Brooke, who my wife still asks, who is that every time she comes out to the ring?
She does makeup differently every single time, though. It is
In
weird.
fairness, she also asked that about Tamina last night.
That's fair, but she hasn't
And
seen
a
Tamina in a hot minute.
Standard Chronicles Xavier Woods. So I had 4 members of the Royal Rumble in that set. Okay, moving on. Best line.
Some of the best words are unspoken.
I'm pretty sure there was a good Pat McAfee, a few good liners, but nothing's coming
Like
through.
I said, some of the best words are unspoken, and it is Sammy hitting Roman with the chair.
In connection, I'm out.
Yeah.
With Jay. I would argue almost everything that happened right at the beginning of the pay-per-view when Pat McAfee's music hit, because it has come out that neither Corey Graves or Michael Cole knew that Pat McAfee was there.
He landed like 20 minutes before the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So that was their actual reaction to finding out that Michael Cole was that Pat McAfee was gonna be on commentary with them, and you could see how fucking stoked Michael Cole was about it.
And I don't know that Corey Graves really doesn't like McAfee that much.
Corey Graves spent a lot of work on staying in character for it.
Yes.
Oh.
Because I mean, to actually not like one of your coworkers that much, they probably don't put you in that situation.
No, it's just a character thing. I don't know where the beef was, though, because even Pat McAfee did the suck it thing. So, like, I figured there was an ongoing beef from way back when.
It mostly is just the fact that Corey Graves is the heel commentator, right? And so anything that's popular, he hates.
Right.
So this is a really interestingly good pack for Royal Rumble performers in a very weird way. Starting off with a Gunther Origins card.
Nice.
Cool.
Following it up with a Gunther Hollow card. Following it up with a Shotzi playoff card.
Does it mention what a playoff card is?
No, it really doesn't. I think it has something to do with qualifying for like Money in the Bank or something, but I don't know for certain. Did not appear at Royal Rumble, Ronda Rousey.
Thank God.
Nope.
Did not appear at Royal Rumble, but did appear at Raw 30, Hulk Hogan. Because when I think of WWE Raw, I think of Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart.
Well, at least I'm not the only one, brother. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Brother!
A Standard Chronicles of Liv Morgan. And then a Standard Chronicle of Edge.
By the way,
Okay.
Beth Phoenix looked phenomenal.
Yeah, why wasn't she in the
Why
Rumble?
wasn't she in the Rumble?
That I don't
Why
know.
was Michelle McCool in the Rumble and not Beth Phoenix?
Now, Michelle McCool can put on more time. Michelle McCool is still in great shape, and it is. I pop every time I get a chance to see her in the ring.
I'm not a Michelle McCool fan. I would prefer Beth Phoenix myself, but
I am.
I also, in fairness, am not an Undertaker fan, so, those go hand in hand a bit.
I think maybe they didn't want to take the spotlight off Rhea winning, because if Beth were to come in, maybe that might be a thing where why would Rhea... But, I mean, they could have still told that story anyways. But now Rhea's going to go on to bigger, better things and not Beth. So they didn't want to try to build a Beth storyline out of that.
But, I mean, here's the deal. They could have had...
Although they kind of did during the men's, though. When she
They could have had
speared,
Beth come in
Rhea.
instead of Nia Jax and told more or less the same storyline because she's still the powerhouse,
Yeah.
character. Anyway.
She hits them as they try to take her out for the slam. That's fine.
I would argue they could have had Santina come in rather than Nia Jax. And that would have been a happy camper.
I would have been fine with James Ellsworth.
Me too.
Okay.
Speaking of James Ellsworth, where was
Carmella.
Carmella? Yeah.
Carmella, and nowhere to be found. I think she might be out injured, but I haven't heard specifically.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, I imagine that's it. Yeah.
Going on to best performance of the night.
Gunther?
It's hard not to say Gunther. You could make an argument for Sammy for the emotion of the post-match angle from a performance standpoint. But it's hard not to say Gunther after what he did.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sammy. That was awesome.
You're from Montreal, so I didn't expect any other.
No, that's fair.
Underhype of the night.
What'd you give? Did you say Gunther?
I said Gunther. Yeah, I said it's hard not to say Gunther. Underhype of the night.
The Women's Royal Rumble, maybe? Because I feel like the men, I don't know. There's a lot of people online that were saying that the Women's Rumble was better. I do think the men's was still a little bit better, but the women's was also really, really enjoyable as well. Just I feel maybe the men's had a little bit more moments. That's all.
The men's had a few more big moments, but from an overall match structure standpoint, I did think the women's was better structured. The men's just had a few more wow moments. And so it kind of comes down to, you know, you could look at a Young Bucks match or a classic Ricky the Dragon Steamboat match, and you could make an argument either way. One had more wow moments and one had better structure. You know what I mean? And so I can see it either way.
But Pat McAfee being the underhype of the night.
Yeah, Pat McAfee being there, totally underhyped because no one knew he was going to fucking be there. I'm so happy to have him.
Does that count as one of their we're really pleased with our surprises?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I would say no. It's not in the Rumble match. Logan Paul, I'm thinking is what they were referring to. It certainly wasn't Booker T. I'll tell you that much.
I think they might have been, referring to overall, and because they did have a decent amount of surprises in the women's Rumble, so they might have felt like those surprises would be big enough to I don't know. Frankly, even if we took away, like Hall of Famers and stuff like that, I would have liked to have seen one or two NXT call-ups in the men's Rumble.
Yeah, we didn't have any men's call-ups.
Not a one. I mean, technically Booker T counts because he's commentator in NXT right now. Hopefully not for much longer.
Right. So now Wade is probably going to go back to NXT.
Take Wade back to NXT.
Booker can go back to the pre-show and stay there, or stay at the pre-show. Also, where the hell was Loomis?
Yeah, I was also disappointed there wasn't any Dexter Loomis.
I was like, really? You're just not going to just put Loomis in anything now?
Fuck. Dexter Loomis should have played into how The Miz got eliminated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Storyline's not really over, right?
Bronson Reed wasn't even in it, I don't think.
Yeah, after re-debuting a week ago and kind of re-debuting. He's been back for a few weeks, but they had him come out a week ago and be a big monster, and why they didn't have him in there. OMG moment of the night. There's, I think, two big contenders for this. Let's see which ones get named.
Sammy hitting Roman.
That's one of them. Surprised JLB's not blurting out the second one right now.
I know. I'm trying to figure out Rhea Ripley winning. What was your second one?
I'm surprised. Logan Paul and Ricochet.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yes. Yeah, that's definitely OMG. Oh,
yeah.
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 Fucking LA Knight. That's a shirt. Yeah, no. I was wondering. I was like, what's going on here? I'm like, they're literally gonna jump it, and they do, and they land it perfectly.
The
And
the
I'm like, this is
only
beautiful.
the only thing I have against that is my question is, what was their
Everyone else was down.
intent to do? No, what was their intent to do? Like say you're Logan Paul and you do that move, right? You do that springboard and Ricochet's on the other side. What is your intended move for that?
My arm is stronger than your arm.
Is your but you don't know he's gonna launch. You know what I mean?
Big
So
TV spot.
are you legitimately trying to springboard coast to coast and do something? That's my only thing. Is I'm
No.
sitting here going,
I think the whole thing was we're both gonna launch, and one of us is gonna take each other out. I'm gonna do it first. But nope, that didn't happen.
but okay, that goes in hand
And
hand with best
also-
move.
Logan Paul doing the buckshot lariat too. Was it him who
Yeah.
did the buckshot lariat?
Yep,
Someone
he
did
did
the
it.
buckshot lariat.
He's done that a couple times now. It's one of his moves. And I really, 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 really want Hangman Page to knock his head off for it, but that's beside the point.
He doesn't do it poorly.
No, he does
All
it
you
pretty
want
well,
is
actually.
somebody else does
Yeah.
your move. You want to make it. You want him to make your move look good.
He does it well, right? I still want Hangman Page to show him how it's really done. Anyways, no. Moving into best move.
It's that.
I mean, it's that. That's yeah. It's definitely the clothesline jump clotheslines.
I would also put Bobby Lashley eliminating Brock Lesnar as a really good best move moment. To give like you're trying to build Bobby Lashley back up as a beast. To have him get a solid one up on the beast. I also want to point out when Brock Lesnar made his entrance and they said, the beast incarnate, my 4-year-old daughter said, he's not a beast, he's a human. So, you don't scare my daughter, Brock Lesnar.
Oh boy.
I mean, he scared the shit out of him, but
Oh, you're scared the fuck out of me, right? But my daughter is not scared.
I mean, really, the only thing that keeps you from scaring any of us is law enforcement,
Yeah, 2,000 miles.
reasonable distance, law enforcement,
Totally different country.
criminal
Yeah.
charges,
The fact that you don't know who the fuck we are.
concealed carry permits. I'm not entirely sure the concealed carry permits will work for shit on us because they may just bounce off of you, you incredible human being.
Okay, and then the final two. This goes hand in hand with the other one. Best booking decision. Out of the entire Royal Rumble, what was the best choice they made? The best booking decision they made.
Sammy turning and instantly Jay walking out at the same time. Because I always thought Sammy was going to turn, but I did not think that Jay was just going to walk out like. Well, one, I didn't even think it was Jay that was going to walk out. If anyone, I thought it was going to be Jimmy. But considering if we go back, 2 years ago, maybe. Jay was always the one who was always the most skeptical out of everything. With Roman, Jimmy was always like, "Oh, come." With Sammy as well, and he was even the one that faced Roman in that Hell in a Cell. No.
Yes.
So Jay was always the most skeptical one. So whether it was intentional or not, and Trips knew it, he played a long-term storyline really well with everything that was that, because the most skeptical one including with Sammy, he ended up then realizing, you know what? This is also bullshit too. I was right 2 years ago. We should have never have done this. See what happens on SmackDown or maybe Raw. But yeah, so that for me is the best booking decision to do both at the same time, because now Jay is just completely conflicted. And wow, that's long term story booking at its finest, whether intentional or not intentional.
I was really mulling this over on how I'm going to say this. There's some stories that were told here that we don't know which one's going to end up being the best booking decision. So I think the best booking decision is actually the fact that there's so much that's to be determined. Because we don't... Has Bray Wyatt and LA Knight come to an end? Probably. The Bray Wyatt storyline, my son is still asking me questions about, well, what's going to happen here? Well, what's going to happen there? What's going to happen there? He's asking me questions about Alexa Bliss. He wants to know more about Cody Rhodes after last night. That would be one of them that I was going to put in there. I was going to put two, and that's the Sammy turn and Cody Rhodes. The Sammy turn. How does that play out? So I can't help but think. That the best booking decision is that there aren't answers to the booking questions. So to be determined is the best booking decision.
Okay. I am going to go with putting the men's rumble first.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
And it's multi-tiered. Number one, break the habit of putting the women's rumble first, right?
Right.
Cut it off as it needs. It doesn't happen anymore. Let's just show, look, the men can go first too, right? It also then allowed a nice flow to the night. You had this super high emotional high with Cody winning. Then you had the come down match with the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. You had worst match of the night, Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. And then you have this like hour and a half long just race to the end with the women's match and then the KO versus Roman match and then this huge culmination at the end. And I don't think it works as well any other direction.
Right.
Like,
I mean, you could have not do the Hardy performance there, but aside from that, I like the flow of the entire pay-per-view.
Like if you put Cody winning right before the Roman versus KO match, I don't think it flows as well. You know what I mean? This allowed Cody to have his moment, there to be a come down, and then this build up at the end. That's my thing.
With that said, because the men's Royal Rumble was going up first, I said, okay, this whole rumor of The Rock is going to show up at the main event. He's no longer just going to he's not going to show up at the Rumble, but he's actually going to somewhat show up at the main event. And when they completely massacred everyone, I legitimately thought we were going to hear, if you smell, but thank God it didn't happen, because then that would have taken away from Sammy and KO's story. Mm-hmm. So thank God that didn't happen. But yeah, and it made sense because a lot of people are saying that is kind of the only thing that maybe saved the Rumble, although I don't think it was as bad as people were saying. I do think that is a moment. There's definitely been worse Rumbles for sure. Hence last year.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, with that said, though, that was a great way to end. Great way to end the Rumble. If there's something you can take away from the Rumble that would have given it maybe an extra star, it would have been the Sami Zayn turn, because that was done perfectly.
Okay, and then the final best match of the night.
For the match itself, the Rumble.
Which one?
Men's Rumble?
Men's Rumble.
Okay.
Men's Rumble. For the stuff surrounding it, Roman and Sammy. But for the match itself, it's the Rumble.
JLB?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with the Men's Rumble.
It's unanimous. Men's Rumble. And to me personally, if we talk about
Women's
the
is
match,
close second, though, man. Because
for me, if we're talking just about the match, not including the stuff after, just the match, it goes Men's Rumble, Women's Rumble, Roman versus KO.
then I guess for you both Pitch Black and then
And then Belair versus
Bliss and Belair. Okay.
But that's it, just counting the match. When you add in the post-match angle with Roman Reigns, it might put them above the Women's Rumble as a whole. But that's neither here nor there. Final set of cards did not have that many Royal Rumble entrants. But it did have some stars that we know. Like we can talk about Solo Sikoa
Oh, snap.
and his rated rookie card. Did not appear in the Rumble, but at the Rumble, Alexa Bliss in a season ticket card.
What was her video package? You're in control now or something?
No, do you feel in control?
Oh, dude.
Because she said that I'm in control. I don't need Bray Wyatt or whatever. And do
Right,
you
this
feel
is
in
all
control?
me. I'm in control.
Yeah. To the moon. Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes. So, hey, man, he would have been a perfect Royal Rumble person to put
sure
instead
would've
of
been.
Booker. Like, Jesus.
A,
Booker is showing his age, though. Boy, were his roundhouse kicks really not what they used to be.
a Gold Chronicles Sid Vicious.
Oh,
It's
boy.
vicious.
It's
A Black Series Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
oh, that's
A
cool.
nice card.
Yeah.
A Standard Chronicles Cora Jade.
Who also would have been a great.
Would have been a great appearance in the Rumble. Roxanne Perez did appear in the Rumble.
Right.
And another person did not appear in the Rumble, Ivar from the new Viking Raiders experience.
War experience. War Viking Raiders.
But it's the new War Viking Raiders experience. Because they got all like
We
changed
also
up
didn't
and
have
stuff.
Valkyrie in that match.
Sure didn't. Anyways, but on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up. We're going to make this a short one because two of the three of us are sick and need some rest because we do have work tomorrow. But on that note, excuse me, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you use. Twitch.tv/Raw and Order WBU is where you can watch us live. Best place to subscribe to us. Head on over there. Click that follow button for free. Or if you're a member of Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us for free and help us out there. We've also got our merch stores in the doobly-doos and all of our socials in the doobly-doos as well that you can go down there. We can follow us on all of the social medias. You can follow me at Raw and Order WBU, just like it shows right there. That's on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, just not Facebook, where it's at Pizzan Podcast, because Pizzan Podcast is the only thing they'll let me do on Facebook. You can follow DA Fabe at
DA Vincent K. Fabe on Twitter.
and you can follow JLB at
Twitch.tv/JLBTLC25 on Twitch, where I will be playing GoldenEye from the 64 for the most part for the next few days because it's released on Game Pass. So I'm going to be playing that. So if you want to relive your nostalgia, check my page out in the coming days because it'll be golden.
I do think it's funny that they went through and they edited out the Nintendo logo from the opening of that because it's, of course, now available on alternate platforms. But Nintendo was part of the production for it. But they're like, nah, man. We're not going to mention Nintendo in any way.
Well, I mean, I would be interested to know because it's also on the Switch as well, right? So I'd be interested to know if they didn't do that for the Switch version because that'd be weird.
It comes down to the developer of it is now owned by Microsoft. So when they remastered it for modern, I think they took it out. But I just think it's just funny because come on, man, just leave it in there. Just leave it like it was.
That's it. That's part of the nostalgia.
Anyways, just as long as you play at least one match of Slappers only.
That's fair.
That's the way to play it.
Worst part ever, though, for you Xbox fans, there is no actual online. The online is only for Switch, but here's the caveat. You actually need to have friends to, like, invite them onto, like, you have to have them on your friends list. So there's no lobbies. So that's a bit of a bummer. I'm going to have to get some Switch friends going and get that all set up.
I'm sure it simply comes down to it's trying to replicate the party atmosphere that it used to be for multiplayer, where you would all get together in one room. And
Not in today's day and age.
Well, but my point is, people don't do it in today's day and age, so they're trying to replicate it. And by replicating it, it means having it be only people you know, not randos, but only people that you know and personally invite, so that it feels more like this is a group of friends playing rather than this
that
is
would
some
be awesome.
12-year-old from Taiwan playing.
That's fair.
And
Slappers
now
one hit kill. Slappers one hit kill is the thing, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I'm definitely playing some Golden Gun on top. So
Gold PP7, that's good times.
let's do it. Yep.
Perfect Dark was still better. I said what I said.
Oh,
yeah,
snap.
you
Perfect
said
Dark
it.
was
You're
fun.
wrong, but you said it. I mean, you're allowed to say wrong things all you want.
Fun thing about Perfect Dark is they have an actual online thing, and they do have some of the old levels from GoldenEye, and also some of the weapons, but just re-altered a bit. So, kudos to Perfect Dark for at least doing that. Shame on you guys for just not making it online, though. But I'm still gonna have a good time playing it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book on the wrestling booking unit. Overall, good Royal Rumble. We can confidently say best WWE pay-per-view of the year so far.
Yeah, we certainly can. Yeah.
With no
And worst
hesitation on
pay-per-view of the year so far.
Well, yeah, we can say that as well.
Give it a week. One of those two will fall off.
But
Good NXT pay-per-view next weekend. We won't be doing
Oh, very
no,
valid.
we won't be doing
That's
it.
fair.
We'll at least pay attention to it, but we'll just do a regular WBU next weekend, and then hopefully my voice will still be improving, and I'll be back on Tuesday for Fantasy Booking Institute, where we have fun fantasy booking stuff like, what are you going to do next in Royal Rumble or whatever. But on that note, we're going to go ahead and close the book. Thank you all for joining us. We will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Deuces.